My name is Matt Stenson, and I'm the Director of Online Learning Technology in the Office of Continuing Distance Education. So my role here at the university is to develop and maintain online learning systems for all of our campuses. So that's a little bit about me. Just looking at the attendee list, I've met and worked with a lot of you. There are a couple names that I don't recognize right off, so it's great to see a lot of our faculty here today. Just a few housekeeping things. Feel free to ask questions through the chat at any time. I did mention that we have the phone lines muted at the moment, just because otherwise we get a lot of background noise. But don't feel like you're interrupting me at all if you want to chat in a question or a comment or an idea or anything like that while I'm kind of doing the demonstration part of things. Don't feel like you're interrupting me in any way. Also, just note, I'll unmute the phones at the end of the formal demo, so then if you want to chat at all, bounce ideas off of each other, we'll have some time for kind of the verbal Q&A and brainstorming at the end. And as I mentioned earlier, this session is being recorded, and I'll send you all a link after the session is complete. So let's just dive right in. So what has changed in Angel? Well, we recently upgraded to the latest service pack in Angel, and along with that service pack came a new feature that allows easy video recording for faculty and students integrated into many of the tools in Angel. So what we're talking about here was always possible, but it took a lot more steps, and you had to go out to an external site to record the video, upload the video, and then copy some code from that site, move it back into Angel in order to actually embed the video. It was kind of a long process involved, and wasn't good for kind of spur-of-the-moment videos or providing video feedback or strategies like that. So this new tool in Angel makes the process of recording videos in your courses much easier and much more seamless. Now, along with this new feature, there are some limitations to this new feature. One limitation is that it requires a YouTube account. So the way that the new video recording features in Angel work are they don't actually record the videos to Angel. Your videos are actually recorded to your YouTube account. It's just YouTube provides a great framework for video to be recorded and served to students, and provides a good, consistent experience for students. So if you want to use this tool, you'll have to set up a YouTube account if you don't already have one. I'll walk through that process so you can kind of see how that works. Another note is that the videos that you're recording, you can set them to be either public or unlisted. Public means that anyone could find it on the internet. So most people prefer to have it be unlisted. And what that means is that only people with the link can view the video. Now, you see that I note in the PowerPoint there, this doesn't mean that they're private. So what a private video would mean that you would have to explicitly say, this user on YouTube has access to this video. And that's, while possible, not very easy to set up with this integration. So as you're thinking about the kind of videos that you might want to use for this tool, just keep in mind that the video, when it's unlisted, is, for all intents and purposes, private, but there is the possibility that if you give someone that link, they can then share that link with someone else. Anne just noted that she's having trouble with audio. Are other people having audio issues as well? Okay, it sounds like a few people may be. I'm going to try switching to a different handset here for a second and see if that improves things. All right, is that any better for people? All right. I was using a headset plugged into my phone, and apparently that wasn't working the greatest. So I'll just switch over to the regular phone handset. So let's see. Oh, I was just talking about the unlisted videos. So the only thing to realize with unlisted videos is that if you share that video with someone, they do have the potential of sharing that link with someone else. So if we're talking about something really sensitive, like if you're discussing a actual patient interaction, and maybe using some private information about that patient in that interaction, this probably wouldn't be the tool because technically it can be shared still. So Katrina just asked, would YouTube come up in the Google search for a general user? So I think what you're asking, Katrina, is if I searched for a video just on Google or in the YouTube search, will my videos that I record with this tool show up? Yeah, so that's the difference between public and unlisted. So the public videos, if you choose public, they will show up. If you choose unlisted, they won't show up. They'll only be available to those people with whom you share the link. Because this tool runs off of YouTube's technology, by default, there is a 15-minute time limit to videos that you record. You can go over this time limit if you verify your account. And that verification process, I probably won't run through it today because it takes a little bit of time and my account is already verified. But basically, you give YouTube your phone number. They send you a text or give you a call. You enter a verification code, and they verify that you're a real human being in that way. Very similar process to like activating a new credit card, something like that. Another thing to note is that a webcam is required to use this tool. So that kind of goes along with the bottom bullet point where it notes that you must be connected to the internet. So this is a live recording. It's not a tool for uploading videos that you've already recorded. It's a tool for actually recording feedback or other things live. Judy just asked if I could send out specific instructions for verification. And yeah, Judy, I believe that I have some instructions already written up on verification, so I can send that along with the meeting recording after the meeting. And then one other thing to note just is that you do need Flash. So if you are on an iPad or something like that, this tool will not be available. The YouTube videos that are recorded technically will be available, but the recording feature will not be. Are there any kind of other questions about the limitations? All right. Well, at this point, I was just going to bring out a quick poll question here that you should see in the middle of your screen. I'm just wondering how many of you have a YouTube account. And if you don't know, that's fine. I'll kind of talk through how you can find out if you have a YouTube account or not. All right, so it looks like we're almost at 50-50 here of people that have a YouTube account or don't have a YouTube account. So for those of you that don't, it's a very simple sign-up process. And for those of you that do, you should already be set to go to start using this tool. So a lot of laptops and computers at this point have webcams built in. If you don't have a webcam on your computer, you will need one in order to use this tool. And this is just a couple of examples of webcams that I've used in the past. And you can see they run, between $30 and $70. You can get a nice quality webcam for. So where can you use this tool in Angel? You can use it on pages, which are kind of the, the standard documents in Angel. You can use it in discussion boards. You can use it in Dropboxes, in quizzes, and on your course homepage. So the one thing that I will mention, we'll kind of talk through this in more detail, but I would be careful in using it in quizzes. You could potentially create like a video question prompt, something like that. The thing I would caution you with that is that if you do that, realize that your students have different internet connections, and so some of them, as they're taking a test, they might have to wait for the video to buffer or to load. So if you have a timed test or something like that, I would probably shy away from using any video in the quiz tool. So what does the tool look like? Well, the neat thing is probably most of you are familiar with this screen here, which is the editor that you use whether you're creating a discussion board, sending an Angel mail message, creating a new page. You use this editor all over the place. So the way that this tool has been implemented is actually as a new button in the editor. You'll see there's a little arrow pointing to it there. It's the YouTube upload button. So that's actually how you access the tool. So anywhere that this editor is available, the tool is available. So at this point, I'm going to switch over to a screen share so I can actually show you all how the tool works. So this PowerPoint will go away and it'll switch over to a view of my screen. Are there any questions before I move into the demo portions of things? All right. So hopefully you all can see my screen at this point. If you can, if you just want to send a quick chat message, just have a few people just to verify that my screen is getting sent out. All right. Looks like you can all see my screen. So as I mentioned, the first step in getting set up to use this tool is to have a webcam. So I have a webcam on my computer, so I'm set to go there. And then I need to have a YouTube account. So YouTube, for those of you who don't know, is actually owned by Google. So what that means is that if you have a Google account or a Gmail account, then you're set to go. So all you have to do is go to youtube.com and then click on the sign in button right up here. Now, if you haven't ever used Gmail or Google Docs or any of those things, you can actually set up a Google account right from the YouTube homepage. So if you just go to youtube.com and then click on sign in, you'll be able to sign in, or you can click down here and choose to create a new account. And so then at this point, you'll just give them some basic information. You can choose either to set up a Gmail address, or you could attach a Google account to your CUW email address or some other email. It'll ask you for a password, birthday. One thing I will note is do actually put in your actual birthday, not some fictional birthday when you're filling this out, because Google has to comply with federal laws about working with information with minors. If you put in a fictional birthday that's too recent, they'll actually disable certain features for you. So it's just something you want to watch out for. And then they just have a few other verification steps, and then you'd click on next step, and that would get your account set up. I won't enter all that information because I already have a Google account set up. are there any questions about the YouTube account setup process? All right, then we'll jump into using the tool. So I mentioned that you can use the tool in a number of different places. So on my home page here, you can actually see I've already completed one example of using this tool. So in my About This section area of this course, I use the tool to record a video. So this is kind of how it looks when you're done with the process. So you record the video, and then this is what your students would see from the recorded video. They'd just be able to click on play, and YouTube would then stream the video. It's going to be a little bit choppy on the screen share here, but you get the idea. So how did I go about doing this? Well, I'm going to switch over to the Lessons tab and do it in another tool, just so you get an idea of how this works. So let's say that I wanted to create a video introduction to a unit. So instead of having just a text introduction that introduces the topic for a unit, I want to introduce this topic in a visual form. So I can click on the settings for my Unit 1 document here, and you'll see I get this editor, and here I have the new button that I showed you earlier. So all that I have to do is I'm just going to kind of find about where I want to put this. So maybe I'm making a Making Connections video. So I'll just put my cursor there, and then I'm going to click on the YouTube Uploader button. All right. So the first step is that you have to give the video a title. So I'll just call this, let's see, Course 1, Unit 1, Introduction. And one thing I'll give you as a kind of a tip is when you're titling your videos, you may want to use your course number and the unit that you're recording it for, or something like that, because as you're managing these videos later on, that'll be helpful as you're looking through a list of all your videos. You'll be able to tell which videos you're using where. So that's just kind of a helpful way of keeping organized. I'll show you in a little bit. We'll log into YouTube and look at how you manage videos inside of YouTube. So here are the privacy settings that we were talking about before. So you can see I have three options here. The public option means that it's searchable. If someone types in Course 1, Unit 1 Introduction into Google, my video would have the potential of popping up in their search results. Unlisted means that only people with this link that's going to get inserted into this unit document are going to be able to view that video. And then I do have the option here to make this video private. Now, if you make a video private, you will actually have to log into YouTube and adjust the settings on that video to share it with another YouTube account. So for most purposes, private's not going to be what you're going to want to use, because if you set it to private and you don't do anything more, when students try to play it back, they'll just get a note that this video is private and they aren't allowed to view it. So for most cases, we're going to want to use unlisted. All right, now I get this black screen, and it almost looks like nothing's loaded here, but you'll notice that this is actually a button in the middle. So I have to go ahead and click on Record from Webcam. And now Flash is going to prompt me if I want to allow this recorder to have access to my webcam. So this is just a security feature to make sure that you're aware that your webcam is going to be accessed. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Allow. And you can see that my webcam has now popped up, and then I can click on Close. Now, if your webcam didn't come up here, or if these audio meters weren't moving like this, you may have to adjust some of your camera or audio settings. And the way that you do that is by clicking on this mic icon, or by clicking on the camera icon. And then I can select which web camera and which mic I want to use to record my video. All right, so at this point, I'm in the recording interface, and I can see that my audio meters are moving, so I'm going to be recording audio. And my video here is a little bit backlit. It's quite a sunny day here today, but it's good enough for this demo here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Recording. And it's going to warn me once more that it's going to use my webcam, just so I'm sure that it's using my webcam and this video is being uploaded to YouTube. So I'm going to click on OK. And now you can see that the Start Recording button has changed to a Stop Recording button. The timer is running here to show me how long I have recorded. And I'm recording my video at this point. So once I'm done recording, I can click on Stop Recording. And then I can choose Upload. Now I can also preview the video that I recorded here by clicking on the play button here, and I can check it and make sure that my audio recorded well and that I said what I wanted to say. So I'll go ahead and click on Upload, and it's going to let me know that it was uploaded and that it's being processed. So now, depending on the length of your video, it may take a little while for YouTube to process the video. Hopefully, for the sake of our demo here, it won't take us too long, but we'll just have to wait here for a moment while it processes. While we wait, are there any questions that anyone has? All right, Katrina asked, is Panopto staying or going? Panopto is staying around. So this is not a replacement for Panopto by any means. So Panopto, its primary purpose is as a lecture capture tool. So it has a lot of features that this tool doesn't have. For instance, it has synchronization with Angel, so lectures are kept secure and available just to the students that are enrolled in your class. You can capture your screen. You can capture PowerPoints. It has searchability of those PowerPoints. And it's really a best-of-class lecture capture tool. The way I would characterize this tool as being a supplement to that is if you just want to record a quick off-the-cuff video to maybe explain a topic that students aren't understanding or provide feedback to the student, that kind of thing. We'll talk through some of the different teaching strategies that you could use with this. This tool is great for that kind of thing. But Panopto is definitely staying around as a lecture capture tool. Okay, another great question. If you decide you want to redo a video, can you cancel it after you review it? Yeah, you can. I believe back on that last screen, I think there was a re-record button. If there wasn't, you could always just press this cancel button right here and then click on the record YouTube video button again, and then you would be able to re-record that video. Well, as is usual when doing a demonstration of something, this is taking much longer than it usually would to process a video. So if this doesn't process in a moment here, I will cancel it out and just do it again here, and hopefully it will work. All right, let me try once more. All right, there we go. So that's the way it should work. So now I have my video recorded, and I can review it once more before I insert it. So I could play it back here, and I would be able to watch my video. And then I have two options down here at the bottom. So one is to embed, and one is to link. So the embed option is going to show that player, like I showed you on the course homepage, and the link is simply going to create a text link to the video. So in most cases, it's more convenient to use the embed option, because then a student can just play it back. They don't have to click on it, open up a new window to view the recording. So I'm going to choose embed. And now you can see in my editor, in my Making Connections area, there's this flash placeholder, and that is my video. So if I go ahead and click on Save, and then go into my Unit 1 document, I now have my video here in my Making Connections section. So students can go ahead and play that back right here, and they can view it right in line. Now, the really neat thing about this is I can do this in more than just the unit document area. So, for example, in a discussion board, I could do this in the discussion instructions area, but I can also do it just when making a new post. So if I choose New Post, you can see that the YouTube recording button comes right here, and I can choose to record a YouTube video, and so I can actually record a YouTube video as a discussion post. And your students have this same tool available to them. So they can record YouTube videos to discussion posts, and you can actually have two-way video interaction in asynchronously in that way. You can also, your students can use this in their Dropboxes. So here's an example of a video that I submitted as a student. So when the student uses this to submit to a Dropbox, the video shows up right here, and I still have the regular grading interface, and I would even be able to grade them using the webcam tool. So I could provide them with some narrative feedback using the webcam tool. Any questions kind of about those other places that you can use the videos or the embedding process? Okay, great question, Mike. Any recommendations or guidelines for the length of videos in discussions? You know, this is a brand new tool, and I haven't really had any discussions with anyone about kind of the affordances and limitations of different lengths of videos. I would say, you know, if you had everyone recording a 30-minute video and you have 40 people in your class and you want everyone to watch every single video, I mean, just do the math and you understand that that's, you know, it's a big expectation, so that would have to be a part of that week in their class. So I think just keeping that in mind would be valuable. Judy has a question. If we have an existing course that has video required at the end, can I or someone else add instructions for students to do this? Yeah, so probably the best person to work through to do that would be the instructional designer that you worked with in designing the class. And if you aren't sure who that person is, feel free to contact me and I can get you connected up with the right person. Yeah, one other thing, Mike, just coming back to your questions as far as guidelines for length, the only thing to remember is that unless you and your students verify your YouTube accounts, you are going to be limited to that 15 minutes. So that's going to be kind of the hard set limit by YouTube. So if you verify, you can go above that. But I think 15 minutes is kind of a good time limit anyways. So there's a question, who teaches our students how to produce a video recording. So this is something that I would recommend. I'm going to hopefully put together kind of a succinct demo on how to do this with some text instructions that you would be able to insert into your course. And if I can get that done here in the next day or two, I'll send that out to everyone who's in the meeting. I think just including some instructions like that. And the other thing you can consider is if you wanted to use this a lot in your class, perhaps in the first unit or even in the getting started area of your course, maybe have your students just record, a quick video introducing themselves, so that before it's a high-stakes assessment or assignment, that they just get used to the process of recording videos. All right. The last thing I wanted to walk through kind of in this demo portion of things. Okay. There's one more question here before we move on. So wondering about recording offline and then loading into Angel. So the tool that's built into the editor is designed kind of for that live recording kind of thing. You can go in and edit a video that you recorded afterwards, but there isn't a facility built in to upload a video, say from your computer or something you recorded with a camera elsewhere, that kind of thing. You can definitely still do that with a YouTube account, but you'll have to manually do the embedding of the video into Angel. And that's maybe beyond our discussion today, but it's definitely possible, and I'm happy to help people learn how to do that too. All right. Well, we're gonna. I'll move on, and I'll come back to any other questions that you guys have. I wanted to show you quickly just kind of what's happening on YouTube on the back end. So I'm logged into YouTube at this point, and I can go to my profile by going up here by my picture, and then I can go to the Video Manager. Oh, it's going to make me re-sign in, so I'll sign in quick here. All right. So in my Video Manager, here you can see a bunch of test videos that I was recording. And you can see here that they're all listed as unlisted. So I can manage them all from here. So if there's videos that I want to get rid of, I can check the check box next to it and then choose Delete. And I can also adjust the privacy of videos here. So if you were to accidentally record a video as public that you actually wanted to be unlisted, you would be able to edit that right here. Another thing to note is that you do have some other editing options as well. So if you want to actually maybe cut out something that you said wrong or something like that, you can actually edit videos and change things like that. If you don't like the thumbnail, you can adjust that. You can add some enhancements, maybe if the color doesn't look the best. So there's a fair number of features in here that you can use to kind of spice up your videos a little bit. I won't walk you through every single one of those today, but if you have questions on how to do something like that, we've done quite a bit with YouTube videos in our office, so we should be able to get you pointed in the right direction. Okay, Ann had a great question. Can you add text? Yeah, so there is a tool called annotations in here, and so that's actually kind of a nice feature, is that I can add an annotation here, and you'll see that some of the things are like a title or a spotlight or a speech bubble. So you could potentially, even if you're wanting to show your students something, if you point your webcam at it and then you want to draw some annotations over the top, you have some options, to make a title. So I can make text like that. So, or maybe if you want to show, the spelling of a term or something like that, you can insert that, and then you can drag it around in here in the editor to control when it's going to show up in your video. Okay, so great question. Can we upload videos into our online course? So here's kind of the way that we're wanting to handle things is as you design a course, for a lot of courses, online courses, we're wanting to produce video that's kind of content that the students need to complete the course. For that content, we want to have all of that ready to go before the course begins, so that we're sure that the students are going to have everything that they need to be successful in that course. And so we actually house all of that video either on our servers here or in a central YouTube account. That way, if a student has trouble with the course video, or it isn't working or something like that, we're able to provide them with assistance and get that video working for them. Also, if there are any edits needed, we can take care of that for you. Now, what this tool is really intended for is for the ongoing interactions during the class. So if you're wanting to provide feedback to your students, if you want to clarify a topic, something like that, that's what this tool is really great for. So we're still going to keep producing and uploading kind of the course content videos, and this is really a tool for that ongoing interaction with your students. Hope that answers the question clearly enough. Okay, great question. Does YouTube have a storage limit? The simple answer is no. I mean, in our CUW Online YouTube account, we have hundreds of hours of video uploaded in, and we're still humming along just fine. There may be some kind of theoretical limit, but I for sure have never hit it. All right. I'm going to actually at this point, that's kind of the end of the demo portion of things. I hope that kind of gave you an idea of how the tool is used. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the PowerPoint, and I just have a couple other slides that will note some final things here, and then we can have some time for questions at the end. Okay, so just some quick notes, and probably a lot of you have already thought through this, but why would I use video in my course? So some things that research and just kind of common sense as well tell us is that when you have video that shows your face to your students, it increases the personal connection that you have with your students. Also, this is something, when giving feedback, when you're giving written feedback, when you say, I would look at this section again, or this seems confusing to me, your students can interpret. If you're giving your feedback on a video, they can read your nonverbals, they can read your vocal cues, and understand, oh, my instructor isn't mad at me here, they're just wanting me to clarify this area more. So it can maybe help calm some students down that may misunderstand what you're saying in feedback. And on the flip side, if you have your students, submitting assignments via video, you can cue in on their verbal cues and their nonverbals and those kinds of things, and get a better understanding of where they're coming from on a topic. Another thing that's just pretty logical, but most of us, talk faster than we write, and we can explain things quicker by talking than by writing. So this tool allows us to communicate more information in a shorter period of time. So for things like giving feedback, that's great because we want to give students as much feedback as we can on the work that they're doing. And what we've found with the audio feedback tool in the past is that instructors would tend to give 2 or 3 times more feedback to students on an assignment when they're using an audio feedback tool as opposed to just written feedback. Another thing for students is, getting used to being on a webcam and speaking to a camera and that kind of thing. It's a great career skill. So more and more professionals today are being asked to, lead webinars like this one or make video presentations on things. And so that's another big advantage of video. I wanted to open this up to you all, too. Do you all have any ideas about why you would maybe use video in your course? Okay, yeah, that's a great point. So it kind of it switches things up for students. So it's not, you aren't just giving them another thing to read. You're giving them a different mode of media to view. Okay, yeah, it's great at creating dialogue. Yeah, I mean, obviously, just we're used to talking to each other in verbal form, and sometimes it can be hard to get that dialogue going when you're just communicating in text. And I think video is a great way to do that. Yeah, it adds a human element. That's great. Yep. All right, so building on that, a couple teaching ideas that I had right off the bat when I heard about this tool was recording a video introduction to your course. So maybe, in your next 8-week class that you're going to be teaching here, you want to record an introduction the first week of class so that you just kind of get your face and your voice out there to your students so they get a handle on who you are. Another idea that popped into my head that I know we've had requests for in the past is you can have students submit a video assignment to a Dropbox. So maybe you want them to give a short speech or something like that. Feel free to chat in your ideas as well in the chat area. While you're chatting in ideas, there's one question: are there any possible issues about accommodating those with hearing issues? So yeah, there's a couple things that you can do to help with that. One would be to provide just the same resource in text form. So that would be kind of the baseline. So if you're going to be delivering content, provide it in a text form, or if you are providing feedback or something like that, if you have someone who has a hearing impairment, use a text feedback tool instead. Also, as Margie mentioned, YouTube does have a captioning feature. So YouTube will do its best to automatically caption videos. That your experience will vary with that. Sometimes it's very good and very accurate. Sometimes it's not so good. You can go in and edit those captions afterwards and improve the transcription as well. Oh yeah, that's a great Great idea, JR. It would be a great alternative to having an entire class night tied up with watching presentations. So yeah, so if you have a night or multiple nights that you just have people one by one giving presentations, maybe instead have the students record videos out of class and then comment on each other's videos outside of class, and you can assess them as well. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, another thing you could do, if you have maybe a on land-based speech class, you could have people practice their speeches beforehand and get feedback from a peer group before actually presenting in class too. So you could use it as a practice tool as well. All right, these are some great ideas coming in. I'll just note a couple other things here quick so that we can end on time for those that do need to get going. And then I'll open up the phone and unmute things, so if we want to talk at all afterwards, I'm going to be sticking around for a while, so if you have other questions or other ideas you want to bounce off of me, feel free to do so. So just a couple closing notes. One thing is if you want to go further with using video in your course, I mentioned briefly the YouTube video editing and kind of showed the titling thing. That's one way that you can enhance things even more. Another tool that is external to Angel is something called Screencast-O-Matic. And some of you may have seen a video that I recorded with this tool. But it's a tool that allows you to record your screen and your voice, and even your webcam if you want to, and then upload that video to YouTube. So if you want to, show something on your screen, be it a website or something like that, and then narrate over the top of it, you can use this tool to do that. It's limited to 15 minutes, but it's a great tool for doing that kind of thing, and it uploads to your same YouTube account. And then also, just as we mentioned, kind of the distinction between what the Office of Continuing Distance Education does for video production and then these videos, our services are always available as well. So if you have ideas for a video, please get in touch with us, and we can help you get that produced. And as part of the course design process also, we're obviously producing videos all the time. So that's the end kind of my formal presentation. I'm just going to throw up here a quick feedback box. So if you have any feedback for me, you can just feel free to type that in that box. And then I'm going to unmute the phone line. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask those in voice or in the chat. I'll try to skim back through the chat and see if I can find any other questions that need to get answered. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming today, and I hope this tool proves useful for you all.
Thanks, Matt.